Here we go. 436, No Laugh Track podcast from Acme Comedy Company in Minneapolis. I am Justin Severson, the host. I am here with Anthony DeVito.
What's up, man? So nice to see you.
Yes. First of all, I've never asked you, does anybody call you Tony?
Growing up, there were like too many Tonys, and I didn't feel as I was an accurate representation of a Tony. So I would always go by Anthony. When I got to college, I had a no Tony rule, very hard no Tony rule. And then I got to college, and then a friend of mine in college started calling me Tony, and he sounded so cool saying it that I was like, all right, whatever, man, I'll be Tony. But yeah, no, growing up, I was like, no way, because I saw so many Tonys, and I'm like, I am not Tony.
Yeah.
You know?
Every Italian kid I knew growing up was Tony.
Yes.
Yeah.
Tony, and like just stereotypical Tonys. And I was like, people are going to be so disappointed when they find out I'm also a Tony, you know? So I was like, I have to be Anthony.
Who's more Italian, Anthony DeVito or Tony's Pizza?
Yeah, exactly. They would be like, oh, Tony DeVito. And then I would show up like, oh, hey, guys, do you ever get sad? And they would be like, shut up, Anthony.
Shut up, Anth.
Yeah.
Anth. Well, here we are. Excuse me. We're at the end of October. Last time we talked, besides 10 minutes ago, was
For sure.
a year ago in September 2020.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And you and I had a conversation about we were kind of in the, I don't know where we were in the pandemic, but,
Yeah.
but Acme was open.
Yes.
Partial. Now we're back to full capacity.
It's awesome.
Thankfully. And I remember asking you about, with the pandemic happening, where is this with recording a new hour?
Right.
And you said something, and I know this because I listened back.
Of course,
morning,
yeah.
actually, is that you're like, I'm maybe 5-10 minutes away from a full hour to record.
Yes.
And now here we are, end of October 2021, and you are back at Acme recording that album.
Yes, just so people know at home how slow I write. It takes me about a year to write a new 5 minutes.
And if we go back when we first met, you were 7 minutes away. So you're just killing it.
Yeah, man. So it's really coming along. And then I definitely performed last night, and I was just like, oh boy, I hope this thing's ready.
There was a chalkboard. You were doing a lot of erasing.
Yeah. It was a lot of scrambling, cutting last night after that set.
Great.
Yeah, no, it'll be all right.
So you did not. So we are one show in. At Acme this week.
Yes.
Did you preliminary record? Is that anything last night?
No.
So it's just your final little warm up, right?
Yeah, kind of
like
final little tune up, and then like a couple jokes where it's a couple jokes that were on the fence. It's kind of like when you're going into the playoffs and you're like, okay, like I have to make more cuts. And what guys are going to come with us into the playoffs.
Sure.
And, at least 2 jokes last night, I was like, I'm sorry, fellas. You're just...
It's the base running specialist you're not don't think you're going to need.
Yeah. Try out next album.
Yeah.
So last night was just like a show to be like, all right, just get like a little bit of jitters out, get, reacclimated to the space, and just have a fun set.
Yeah.
Try to have a loose, fun set, because that's the energy you want to bring into a special and to a taping. You almost want the audience to be aware that that's happening, but you don't want them to be aware in their own bodies that's what's happening.
Sure.
Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Where it's like they know, okay, like on paper, this is going to be a recorded special, but they don't feel like it is. Yeah. Not to say like you're doing so poorly that they're like, good God, I wouldn't tape this. but that it's so loose that they're like, oh, this just feels like any other night at the club, because that's really what you want to capture.
Sure.
Which is a hard, I would say, because like my first special I did with Comedy Central, it was a half-hour special, I think 2017, and it's so manicured. Now you understand why, obviously you want to get everything right, but there's like a zillion cameras around. So the audience is extremely aware that this isn't a normal night. And in turn, as a performer, like you become aware of that as well. So I would love, and we'll see if it happens, if I'm loose enough to sort of capture when I'm at my funniest, not just when the jokes are their funniest.
Yeah. So there, and I asked you beforehand, like you'll be using these same cameras that we use to record this high-tech podcast.
Yeah, no, yeah. Yeah, as you say it, I'm like, maybe just cancel this. Yeah. Wow, Justin, you really put it into perspective. We're like, and you'll be using the very cameras we recorded this podcast. It's like, yeah, you're right. Shit.
You have no idea how much money is dumped into this each week. It's
yeah.
You walk out after the show. Hey, Anthony, I mean, my review is this self-funded?
Yeah. Are you sick or something? Why are you doing this?
Is this a, what's that called? Where you get your dying wish?
Yeah, right. Yeah, this is like a Make-A-Wish special. Yeah. They're just like, are you sick? Are you going to prison? What exactly is this for?
Oh, fantastic. Well, I was here last night. I don't know if we never crossed paths.
Oh,
but
really?
I came in.
Oh, my God.
Right before you started. I'm a busy person. I came in and then left soon after. I had a chat with Trevor afterwards, and then he and I parted ways, and I saw him walk and go sit in the back room and with all the other comics.
Yeah.
It's like you guys were going to have a little round table discussion.
Yeah. We're just kind of having a beer and talking about, Kosovo.
Normal stuff like that.
Yeah, normal. An ancient war. Yeah. No, we're just kind of chilling.
And I had a quick discussion last night, and how did this come up? But he was telling me a story about one of his first weeks working at Acme, and the headliner, I don't know if I should say who it is, but the headliner told him, hey, stay backstage my whole set because I have an upset stomach. And at any moment, I might need you to come out here. Yeah.
Jesus.
It was a female comic, which even makes it more interesting, talking about poop.
Yeah.
And it never happened. But then at the end of the set, apparently, before she left stage, she was like, thank you, good night. Now I'm going to go shit my pants. With no reference point to the audience.
Right.
Isn't that fantastic?
Right. Yeah.
So I want to be clear. This is Trevor Anderson's story.
Yes.
Who featured last night for you. Very funny. New
Yeah.
dad.
Trevor's great, man.
Congrats to Trevor.
New dad, long baby.
Yeah, long baby.
It's just like saying that. Yeah, Trevor's great, man. He's super funny.
Have you ever had to come up with a contingency plan like this comedian did, telling Trevor, stay close? Or have you ever been on the opposite end of that, where you're the one on deck?
No, I've always been the shitty, for sure. Yeah, definitely. No, I think, I wear a diaper on stage every time I perform, and I assume everyone does as well. But
these days, not back then.
I usually, because this has happened, my diet is so poor that this has happened so often where I have to open the set with, I need you guys to know, full transparency, I may shit my pants during this set. And if that happens, you'll see a face I make. You'll just see a slight change in me, and just know that it's happened then. And that's happened enough where I've said that speech verbatim over again.
Really?
Yes, absolutely. No, I would never have anyone be on call. I would love the idea that I crap my pants on stage, power through, let the audience know. That's what I mean. That's what I mean. I wish that, and hopefully it happens tonight. I wish that kind of set, that's the kind of set I want for the special. I want the jokes to land. I want everything to be good. But I'd like a wild card magical element that, you just see on any given night.
There you go.
That sort of separates it.
What did you have for lunch today then?
I haven't had anything yet but coffee. I'm trying my hardest.
Hey,
my idea, I'm gonna try 6 cappuccinos and 4 Mucinex, and I'm gonna see what happens.
I recommend cold brew. Get it done all at once.
Yeah. Cold brew, cheap cocaine. Is really what it is. I've never done cocaine, so I don't know the market price.
Oh, this is so fantastic. So, as I said, I did listen back.
Yes.
To the last time we were here, and really quickly, so I started that episode telling you about, on my way to the podcast, I'd driven past some guys having a DVD sale in their front yard.
Okay.
And then we talked about how, what we did with our collections as kids or whatever.
Sure.
And you said something about one year you really wanted, like how some VHS movies were really expensive, and you wanted Weekend at Bernie's
too.
Yeah. And
absolutely.
And your mom was like, no, we can't afford that. So today,
$90.
have you looked on eBay?
I haven't looked today, but I remember the price then. It was $90.
A sealed copy. Someone's just sold sealed copies of Weekend at Bernie's 1 and 2 in a pack in a lot on eBay for over $200.
Yeah. Okay. Wow. So the prices kind of stayed the same. Man.
What? Huh?
And I bought them, Justin.
Yeah, that was you?
You're going to be like, what idiot? And I'm like, God, I tried to do something nice for myself, Justin. You bring it up this way. I just want to see Bernie Lomax in the Caribbean.
That's the new thing I do. I shame your eBay purchases.
Yeah. You brought me on here to troll me.
You spent how much?
You take out a series of receipts. I'm like, how did you even get these?
That's fantastic. So I just want to give you an update on that legit.
Okay.
They clearly do not go down in value. Like a lot of my
Sure.
Star Wars toys.
Right.
I spent money on
God.
when they came back out again in the 90s.
Yes.
Worthless.
A
$7
Man.
toy is worth $1 now. But a copy of Weekend at Bernie's has held more value. How the fuck?
Timeless. It's a timeless tale, man. Going back to the Star Wars thing, I did the same thing that you did because the originals were so revered and the toys became so popular and worth something. When Phantom Menace came out, I bought everything.
Yeah.
Everything at Toys R Us.
Yep.
They have so
Walmart
many.
midnight when they were taking the toys out of the back room.
I have so many worthless Jar Jar Binks action figures in my possession.
Yes.
I have more Jar Jar Binks and Senator Padme figures than I do dress shoes in my life.
Yes.
Way more.
Yes. Doesn't it make you
it's
mad?
upsetting.
It's to the point where I'm like mad when those movies are on TV now.
Yes.
It's like, you made me waste money.
Yeah. How dare you, Hayden
It's not my
Christensen?
fault. It's not my fault. It was these movies tricking me, deceiving me.
Yes, man. We just thought, I was like, this is a gold mine. And, I think at the time I was probably like college, I think when the Phantom Menace came out.
Yeah.
No, high school. I was a senior in high school, and I was like, I'm going to be so rich.
Yes.
These idiots don't even know how I'm going to, for prom, my own limo.
Mm-hmm.
No way. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I remember we were at a Walmart, like a 24-hour Walmart, waiting for them to bring the toys out. The box comes out, and we're like reaching in. Rick Ollie! Did you get a Rick Ollie? What the fuck is Rick Ollie?
Right. Yeah, and then you saw the movie, and you were like, oh, no.
Oh, no. Yeah, exactly. What?
Oh,
I made a
no.
huge mistake.
I tried to defend that movie like it was like a bad boyfriend for years.
Ditto.
Like I was just like, you just don't know the Phantom Menace like I do. Like there's some good parts, John Williams kills it.
No, it brings things back and into this.
Yeah, no, I know, man. Then Attack of the Clones came out, and that was like, this is indefensible. This
Completely.
might be the worst movie ever made, ever in the history of film.
I remember trying to explain something about that movie to my mom, who already didn't really have a concept of Star Wars. It was like,
That's not going to be the one that's going to win.
Yeah,
it.
I give up and I don't care.
Yeah, so bad. I think he's coming back for. There's some. I think Hayden Christensen is coming back. Yes, for Ahsoka. Yes.
It's what is his character going? Like he's going to be.
He's gonna be Hayden Christensen, failed actor. He's just gonna come on. But yeah, no, he's gonna be Anakin. I don't know. I'm into it. I'd say give him another shot at this because honestly, I think there are moments he has. The writing is so bad in Attack of the Clones, but he actually has men. Yeah. Oh, that's a nightmare. Like, we can't get into that. But he gives off menacing looks where you're like, he could do it, but the writing is so god-awful, they did not give him a chance. I like that they're going to give him, because I think the Ahsoka series is going to be great. She's an amazing character to me.
That's true.
Yeah, and I like the idea of giving him another chance. I'd throw Jake Lloyd in the mix. I say, do it. You know
what's funny? I know that he was the little pod racer kid, but I immediately put him in the same category as that. The human head weighs 8 pounds from Jerry Maguire. Like annoying kid actors from the 90s at some point.
He's rough. The Phantom Menace is rough because Qui-Gon, Liam Neeson, and Ewan McGregor give almost all-time performances to try to save the movie. Ewan McGregor is an unbelievable Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
Qui-Gon is an incredible character, and they're just giving a clinic in acting. And meanwhile, you just have a 9-year-old running around who's just like, I do races. Yeah. And Liam Neeson's like, all right, I'll try to clean up that line. It's not his fault too. He's 9 years old, And then this poor kid is like a 9-year-old kid. He's got to deal with 20-year-old nerds who is just like, that's not the Anakin that I thought he would be. And it's like, that's a child. What's wrong with you?
boy, you're ruining my movies.
Yeah, you're ruining my life.
Ugh. God, I love that so much.
Yeah.
What? So I need to. This is a very serious topic we need to switch into here. No, it's not at all. But I have a question for you
Please.
that I don't understand anything about. You signed up to do something comedy NFTs.
I don't know what that is.
You don't know what that is. Are you actually doing? Is that real? Are you doing something with that?
I couldn't. So
idea.
this guy hit me up and he was like,
"It's a scam." You're saying?
I'm probably embroiled in some kind of I'm probably gonna have to appear in court in 6 months about this. So this guy hit me up about like selling. I don't really understand. NFT has been explained to me as much as like Bitcoin and the subprime mortgage crisis, where I'm like, it does not matter how much you will explain it to me, I'll never get it. So he basically was like, send me a couple tweets or a stand-up clip and then they can be bought as NFTs. And I was like, sure. I don't know what that sentence means. And then I asked a couple friends and they were like, yeah, like you might make some money off this, just send them. So that's what I did. Because I remember, I think last year I started hearing about like NBA Top Shot and NFTs, and I still don't really know what it means, but like you can buy clips from the internet and then you own those clips.
Yeah.
So I guess somebody might own a tweet of mine about a serial killer. And I maybe see $20 off it. I don't know how it works.
Did they tell you any like?
No.
You could make $5. You could make $5,000. I mean, there's who knows.
Pretty much nothing. Like I mean, this happened this week. So I messaged him and he was twice. He was like, because I think he like understood my complete ignorance in these messages, and he was like, "Do you want me to call you to talk about this?" And I was like, "Not now." Like you just gearing up for taping this weekend. I was like, we'll talk, because I was like, you're gonna talk to me about NFTs for like an hour. I'm gonna be spellbound by this. So I was like, let's just wait after this weekend and then you can talk to me all about this. And I'll go, all right, that makes sense. And then the minute the phone hangs up, I'll go, I don't know what that was. Right. A math conversation. I have no clue.
Right. All right, well, perfect. I'll ask you again in a year and get a similar answer.
Yeah.
But hopefully you will have made maybe a few dollars off it by then.
Yeah, hopefully I've made $9.
Hey, come on. Come on. Did you see, I went on Twitter today, which I'm doing less and less these days, but one of the news stories that brought to my attention is that next month, Tiger King 2.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Are
we ready for that? Do we care? Have we completely moved on?
See, the Tiger King phenomenon was like so interesting to me just because it happened the second day of the pandemic. Yeah. And I liked it for the reason of like it was this communal experience for everybody. Because that doesn't, because with streaming and, you're able to record things, you're not really afforded that familial experience anymore. Everything's more isolate. Yep. So with Tiger King, it was like we all watched it as a nation at the same time, and it was so silly and it was so absurd that it was kind of this like weird beacon of hope in the beginning of the pandemic. It was like we all got to experience this fun moment, and then obviously the pandemic lasted another year and a half. Right. But it was interesting too, because at the time it was like this is what we needed, but then we had a week away from Tiger King, and I think we were all like, oh, this wasn't good. Do you know what I mean? Like, this wasn't good for humanity. Right. But in that moment, we're like, thank you, Tiger King. This is what we needed. Yeah. 4 days later, we were like, we all just did a bad thing, I think. Yeah. Collectively thought that.
I was like, I am obsessed. I can't get enough information about every one of these people.
Right.
And then it was, oh, just go away.
Yeah, Tiger King was McDonald's, you know what I mean? Where it was like, at the time, you're like, this tastes great, this is awesome. And then the next morning, you're like, I'm going to shit my pants on stage. So I'm curious, too, because Tiger King was a show. Ted Lasso, you can even make an argument that was a show of the moment as well. Not that to take anything, Ted Lasso is this incredible show, but it captured what we needed at the time. So I'm interested to see if Tiger King removed from the pandemic somewhat how the reaction to that is. Yeah. Because it was very much like, oh, this thing happened here, and that might be the reason for its success. But if you take the context out of the equation, I wonder if Tiger King holds up as well.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Will we be talking about Tiger King 3 in a year and a half from now? That's the question.
Yeah, but what is the rest of the story? Because I mean, he, from my understanding, he went to prison, right?
Correct. I watched the trailer, and it seems like some of it is just picking up from when now we're all successful, and them dealing with their now newfound success. And I think even more like maybe some more backstory that we didn't see in the first one. But definitely there's the look at us now.
Right.
You know?
I get that because those characters like Carol Baskin, like those characters became so a part of us. Like there was enough there in terms of like it felt like almost like a Christopher Guest mockumentary that you would be like, oh, I want to see what happens with these characters because they're so strange and interesting.
Yeah.
I wonder because did you watch like I was like fascinated a little bit with like the Elizabeth Holmes story. Do you know like of her? Okay, so she like Theranos, everything. So they did a first podcast. It was The Dropout on I think like ABC or somebody did it. It was great. Yeah. But then the second one is just like about her trial. It's not as interesting like at all. So I wonder if that will happen or if it will be like I would just watch a show that's like Carol Baskin and her weird husband where she like just dresses him up and out. Like they must have the craziest like European Dutch sex in the world. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. The cameras are on.
Yeah, the kind of sex where like I don't even know if this qualifies as sex. Like, you know, or this is just like
there's body paint.
Yeah, or it's like so nobody came and this was just about power. All right.
They're in separate cages staring at each other.
Yeah, exactly. That kind of like achievable sex that happens as you get older and more wealthy. Squid Game sex.
That's right. And there is still some unsolved, crimes that apparently went on. So
sure,
who knows?
Sure, yeah, those accusations were so wild. What was it like that a tiger ate her? Like the family, it's that a tiger ate one of the people, right? Yeah, I'm trying to remember it all, but yeah.
You're going to have to watch it again for a refresher.
I won't watch Tiger King again.
There's
I can't.
There's
no way. I can't do that to myself again.
There's absolutely no chance. Hey, so we should go back. So you're recording this stuff this week. It's going to be an album and a video special. Mm-hmm. Do you have any idea when you're going to have that available for people? Or
no clue. I would imagine I'm going to try to get it out as soon as possible. The album. I mean, the album usually is just dependent upon when the comedian listens to the album from when the record company sends it over. I will try to listen to it like the next day to just get this thing out as soon as possible.
Nice.
And then I think it's just a matter of like talking to them and asking like when you want to release the album as opposed to the special, because the special I'm releasing outside of 800 Pound Gorilla.
Okay.
So I'd imagine there'll be some kind of communication between myself and the person who's editing my special and 800 Pound Gorilla in terms of like release date, and then also when my editor gets back to me with the footage of the special.
Sure. Where did you record your that Dream Occupation?
Yes.
Album? Where was that recorded?
That was recorded at the Creek in New York City, in Queens. No longer. The Creek was this like folklore-y kind of place in New York City comedy history. It was kind of this clubhouse of a comedy club. Not even. It was a burrito restaurant, which had this theater room, which is at a black box theater adjoined to the restaurant. But it became this place where like everyone of my generation went through.
Yeah.
Like when I first moved to New York, like Donald Glover had a show there. Everybody, like Che would put, like everybody who you see now who's famous, like we all, I included myself in, I'm not, but everybody of my generation passed through the Creek. So it was kind of like our comedy store, I would say, but it functioned even like more independent. So it became this like almost like a Foot Clan-y kind of like clubhouse, just space that was provided for us to do whatever we wanted. The Creek will go down as just this like miracle of a period of time in New York City comedy history.
Is there a version of it that exists someplace else?
I don't know. I'm not well versed enough in other cities to kind of like know, but off the top of my head, I can't say that.
Okay.
The Creek was it seemed like a real one of one and a real like place and time.
When did that shut down?
That shut down actually during the pandemic and reopened in Austin. But
that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, for what it was this just magical space.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, speaking of that, I should remind people, if you haven't, 30th anniversary of Acme is this year.
Oh yeah, they're
30
saying
years, and next week of anniversary shows, huge showcase shows. Wednesday through Saturday.
So cool.
Yeah, huge names.
So
people
cool.
haven't picked up tickets for that yet. Whatever remains, I would suggest doing that.
Yeah, I mean, Acme is like, it's a perfect space. You know what I mean? Just physicality-wise, where it's super intimate, ceilings are low, but then it's also big enough where you could kill and feel like, you're performing in a big room.
Yeah.
It really is just a perfect space for comedy.
You chose wisely.
Yeah.
You chose wisely to record here.
No, thanks.
There's no doubt. I saw that we talked. We're not going to. I encourage people to go back and listen to the last time you were here because we spent a bunch of time talking about your family, your dad,
the solo show.
The solo show.
Yeah.
I listened to you recently tell Ari Shafir about it.
Yes.
It's interesting from my perspective to hear other people's questions about it.
Right, sure.
So I encourage listen to the Ari Shafir episode. That one's good. Mine's pretty damn good too. From a year ago, we covered a lot of the same stuff.
Yeah, you're probably the first person I talked to about it in comedy.
See?
I think so, yeah.
See?
Yeah.
Well, you know what? Along those lines,
Please.
I'm gonna give this podcast another little shout out here.
Yeah.
I'm happy to hear you say that this was maybe the first place you talked to
I think so.
Dana Gould
Yeah.
and Bobcat Goldthwait have a brand new
Sure.
documentary that comes out tomorrow on demand
cool.
called Joyride.
Oh, cool.
And it's about this them going on the road together, and they were in a really bad car accident a few years ago.
Okay.
And just now, in the last year, that story's getting around based on this movie.
Right.
Dana and I talked all about it in like 2019.
Whoa.
Yes, and he told me all about the filming of the documentary, big details about the accident. So if people are interested in seeing that movie, want a little background, you just go back 2 years on this podcast. So
Wow.
we talked about it.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's really, really cool.
Love that stuff.
Yeah, because you never know, because you just talk, you know what I mean? You talk, obviously on like podcasts and radio
now
and
it's
stuff.
finally happening.
And then, that's so interesting. And then, like, I'd imagine, too, if you go back, like, we probably talked about stuff. I should probably go back and listen to it just for the writing of the show. That's, like, probably something in there that I'm like, I didn't even notice at the time that's, like, really interesting.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Because that's what I'm finding with doing it. It's just, like, these prodding questions are leading into sort of ways to propel the story forward.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Absolutely. So people definitely... If you're a Dana Gould fan, which
you gotta be, you should be.
You absolutely should be. I've seen the trailer for that thing. I'm really looking forward to watching it. I'll be putting money down to watch that this weekend. There's no doubt about that. Another podcast I listened to you do was was within the last year, I think. You were on that Are You Garbage podcast.
Oh yeah,
which I've become a fan of.
Oh, they're great, man.
I've never met any of those guys, but
Foley and Kevin, they're great.
I love the topic, and it's just they're really funny.
Yes.
And one of the things they asked you great episode with them.
Oh, thanks.
And one of the things they asked you about it is if you've ever been to a pawn shop.
Sure.
And you were sort of like, nah, yeah, no, yeah. And I'm listening to that, and I'm like, not only have I been to a pawn shop, have I bought things at pawn shop, have I sold things at pawn shops, but when my now wife and I were just like a year into our relationship, I brought her with me to a pawn shop and bought her someone's used diamond ring.
Wow.
Yes, and she was okay with it.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
Am I garbage? Wow.
No,
wow.
I think you're confident in a way which is scary.
Wow.
It wasn't the ring.
No.
Okay.
No. Well, no. In fact, we still. I kept the receipt, and I still have it. I just saw it. We just moved, and I actually saw the receipt. I was like, I paid that? How much can I get it when I bring it back? Which I am going to bring it back because no one's wearing it.
Yeah, I've never been to a pawn shop. The whole experience, I think I would enjoy. It's just not something I've done yet. But I love the idea that it's like a tangible internet, where it's just like you have just like these array of items that are just here for some reason. And
I had some crappy like high school jewelry that I had around 20 years ago, and I was like, I'm not gonna wear a gold chain anymore.
Yeah,
it's not
I
happening.
wore 3 things. Yeah.
Yeah. So I brought that around to a couple shops, and it is fascinating to get these guys in their freaking $2 shirts trying to look like they're dressed like $1,000 and acting like experts on gold with their little eye thing flipping it around.
I love that, but I love all that theater. I love all that
that's
stuff.
That's what I'm saying. You would love it.
That's what I mean.
You could go to one place and they'll give you like I'll give you $85. Man. You go across the street, they're like, what'd they offer you, 85? Yeah, those guys are freaking cheap asses. We'll give you 150, nothing less. What?
Yeah, I just love that it's like a form of a business exchange that doesn't exist anywhere else. Like it's similar like to buying a car, you know what I mean? Where you're just like, we've all decided on a way that goods are exchanged, but there's a couple areas in life that are still like, we do our own thing here.
Yeah.
And if you're in this arena, you play by our rules.
That's right.
And it's like, I do love that. As like as shady as whatever as it is, it's like there's something charming to that. You know, where it's everywhere else you're like, okay, that's marked $1, I'll pay you $1. And then someplace where it's like, well, Marco says that it's 75 cents, so it's 75 cents.
Exactly.
You're in my world now.
I'm telling you, I think there's some material value. You might want to go hit up those.
I would love to.
Hit up
I'm
a
pretty
pawn
much
shop or
open to
two.
any experience. It's just a matter of laziness. You know, it's like you just have to put me in the place. Because for me to seek it out on my own, I probably won't do it. I'll just sit in my room. And it's not a matter of like I'm adventurous. It's just my laziness overrides my curiosity. But if you drive me there, if a Lyft driver just came and picked me, I would love a Lyft service where they pick you up and they just drop you off somewhere.
This isn't my hotel.
yeah.
Go in and shop. Sir.
Yeah, Lyft mystery.
Yeah.
They, you know, they just go, you're plopped here, and then that's it. It's like naked and afraid, but you keep all your clothes on, and you don't, they don't give you an item to take. They just drive you somewhere.
I am looking for a new side gig. I'm pitching this. This is
yeah,
genius.
dude, I would love that.
Yes,
because that's the thing. I think like when I was younger, I would seek that out more, and now you get older, you get a little bit lazier because like physically, you're just more tired.
Oh, sure. You could combine this with Halloween, like Halloween mystery Uber.
Yeah, I would love that. I would love
Halloween
to just be
mystery Uber.
driven somewhere where I don't know and I just kind of have to walk around. That's nothing more in life I like more than that.
So I've been looking, like some of these this app that has jobs available, jobs listing. I want to get your opinion. There's two different jobs I saw recently.
Okay.
Both offer about $15 an hour.
Okay.
All right. Let's just say, for some reason, you absolutely, to get out of town,
Yeah.
you have to do one of these jobs for a day. All right.
Okay.
So which one do you choose? And these are real jobs that I'm not making these up.
Okay.
First one is has to do with Halloween. It's a zombie actor where you are out in a field and people that pay money get to shoot you with paintballs, and you're dressed up as a zombie.
Okay. That's all right.
That's
and
one.
these are $15 an hour. All right. I'll
$15 an
refrain.
hour.
I just want to hear the other one.
All right. The other one is collecting saliva in a cup for COVID testing, where you have to, you're face to face with someone and you're basically coaching them to make sure they get it all in the thing, seal it, blah, 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 tell them to have a nice day.
Sure.
Which
Yeah.
one would you rather do? Collect saliva or get shot at with paintballs? Dressed as a zombie.
Well,
at night when it's 40 to 50 degrees in Minnesota.
Sure. Yeah, that's the thing. The weather I just hate makeup. So the zombie thing, it's gonna be cold, and paintballs hurt. They leave welts every time. So that's a lot. Medically, you're safe from COVID, but the COVID thing, I would meet a lot of people. That I do like. And I'm vaccinated, you wear a mask. I don't feel so scared.
Yeah.
And I got no problem holding spit in my hand. Never have. So, that reminds me of my old paper route, honestly.
They'll give you a receptacle. You don't have to.
Yeah, I prefer, Justin. I'll do it the old-fashioned way. Thank you very much, man.
I'm like Wade Boggs up there, no batting gloves.
Yeah, I'm like, come on. I'm like running back to the car with it, like blowing on it to keep it cool. I know all these like scientific ways. I probably do the saliva just because I get to meet people, and then also
State job. It's a
What's
state
up?
job. It's a state job.
I love that because I used to work a year when I was in my early 20s. I lived in Hawaii and I used to do environmental canvassing, and it was a door-to-door job. Being like, "Hey, do you have a minute for the polar bears?" And Hawaiians would be like, "I've never been cold in my life. I don't even know what a polar bear is." And you'd be like, "So do you want to donate or not?" And they would just shut the door in your face. It was a great gig, but I loved it because I just got to meet people every day and like talk to people and stuff. Any excuse to talk to strangers is really what I want in this world.
Okay.
So I would love that. And like I said, put a nice loogie in my mitt. You're looking at a happy boy.
Oh, that's so fantastic. Let's see. Well, one other thing that I want to cover before we're done here. Are you still doing what happened to Rad Dudecast?
Honestly, we had done it. I think we probably did the Rad Dudecast for almost like 10 years. And then over the pandemic, I think we probably even talked about this a little bit. We were doing 4 episodes a week all over Zoom. And I think at some point it just wore us down.
Sure.
And I think we're all cool. I mean, I actually think we'll probably, I don't want to say too much just in case like their diehard fans listen to this. But I think it'll come back in some form at some point, because we all love each other very much, and it was like a real excuse to hang out. It was just that over Zoom and the quantity of episodes was just too much for us to keep up.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough. All right. Well, I think that covers it for us. You have to go, according to the conversation I overheard with you and your lady friend before we started. You need to do some skin care.
Yeah, she's like a drill sergeant with serums and face creams I have to apply because I'm so lazy and like just haphazard as a person. Like I showed her a picture of my face every morning. I do, but but no, I showed her a picture of my face.
Hold up today's newspaper.
Yeah, she runs a hard line, man, but I like her for it. I showed her a picture of my face, and there's a pimple on my face, and I was like, "This is probably fine." And she was like, "It's not." Like called me up, like wasn't like didn't text. She was like called me like it was an emergency. She was like, "Go to Sephora, get these face bubble things, get this concealer." She was like, "You can't shoot a special looking like that." And I was like, "All right." So I got the stuff, but of course I got the wrong stuff. So she's all up in arms about that.
And then she's like, "What are you doing about your hair?" And you're like, "My hair?
Yeah.
You said my hair was fine."
Yes, exactly. That's the best. Yeah, that happened. When I did Colbert years ago, I was in the dressing room, and I was just wearing like a sweater. It was a show at the time where people wore like suits and ties on, but I've never felt comfortable there. So I was just wearing a sweater, jeans, and like a little jacket over it. And the warm-up guy comes out and he goes, "What are you gonna wear tonight?" And he goes, "Wouldn't it be hilarious if you just wore that?" And I was like, "Yeah, hilarious."
No!
Cut to, I just walk on stage in that. Yeah.
Did you give him the old sup?
Yeah, man. I took your advice.
Oh, along those lines,
Please.
I do have one final thing. So you're recording, video this week, starting tonight at Acme. So you have the same outfit for every show?
Yeah. I bought 2 dumbass Hawaiian shirts from a 39-year-old man who ordered something online from Billabong.
Love it.
Yeah. I have the same Hawaiian shirt that I'm going to wear tonight, and I'll probably stain it, so I brought an extra one to wear the next night for continuity.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. Or matching stains.
Yeah, true. Yeah, I might have to line up the stain. Good Lord. I really have not thought this through.
Love it. Thank you for doing this.
Of course,
it's been a lot
man.
of fun.
Always love
Let's
talking
do this
to you.
again in a year, and we'll have your finished special to talk about.
Yeah, man. Cool.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thanks, dude.